What's the best speed to farm sugarcane on Hypixel Skyblock? I bet you think you already know the answer to that, but today we're going to find out for sure. In this video, I'm going to farm sugarcane using 3 different speeds, and we're going to see which speed gets us the most amount of crops in the least amount of time. So the 3 speeds that we're going to test out today are 260, 290, and 327. Make sure that you watch the video the entire way through, that way you don't miss out on any farming tips that I may talk about while I'm doing the testing. Okay, so in order to get these 3 speeds, we have my rancher boots right here, and I'm going to left click them and then change it to whatever speed I'm going to do the testing at. So first we're going to do 260, so I'm just going to type 260 and then hit done. And then I have to make sure that I actually wear the rancher boots. In addition to having rancher boots, you're going to also want to drink a god potion, so that way you can have the speed that's necessary in order to hit the speed cap that the rancher boots creates. If you don't have rancher boots, you can also mess around by wearing various pieces of equipment to mess around with your speed, but it's just way easier if you have rancher boots. In order to make sure that the test is accurate, I'm going to use the same farming hoe for every single test that we do. And as you see, it's a pretty much maxed out sugarcane hoe. There's a couple of things missing, like farming for dummies, and the counter's at 70 million. It could probably be over 100 million. That would get us a little bit more crops, but it's still pretty maxed out. And we're going to use the same hoe for all 3 tests, so that way you know that it is an accurate test. I'm also going to equip a elephant pet. As we see here, I have a level 100 elephant pet, and I am also level 60 farming. Okay, so here we are in my sugarcane farm. We're at a speed of 260. I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes, and we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. So as you can see, farming at 260 speed, we have to go at an angle of about 165 if you go one direction, and then when you turn around and go the other direction, you want to aim for about an angle of 15 degrees. If you think there's a better angle for me to use while doing 260 speed, feel free to let me know in the comments below, and I'll be happy to take a look at it. So unlike other speeds, when you're farming at 260 or 290, we're going to actually have to turn around at the end of every row. And so because of that, I'm not getting my angle exact, because I'd rather not slow myself down. We're pretty close, and that's all you really have to do to get it to work. So I'm using the NEU mod, which shows my angle in the box to the left there with the yellow font. But if you don't have the NEU mod, you can simply hit F3 and that'll show the white font that's in the upper left corner of the screen. And you can look at your angle there as well. Okay, so the timer just ended on our speed of 260. So what we're going to do now is we're going to unequip the rancher boots. We're going to switch the speed over to 290, and then we're just going to re-equip the rancher boots, and we're going to get a better position on the farm. All right, so I took what we just farmed in the 260 speed test, and I put it in my ender chest here. And now I'm at another part of my farm that is fresh with sugarcane, and I'm going to equip my sugarcane hoe, and we're at a speed of 290 from the rancher boots, and I'm going to get myself in a proper position here. We're going to start the timer for 5 minutes, and we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, go. So as you see here, we're actually missing sugarcane about every 4 or 5 slots, and that's actually supposed to happen when you farm at 290. So the idea at farming at 290, or at least what people say, is that even though you're missing sugarcane, you're actually farming the maximum possible that you can get, and so it's supposed to get you a good amount of cane. As you see, angle-wise, we're still going to try to aim for 165 going one direction, and then 15 degrees going the other direction. Just like with speed 260, when you're going at speed 290, you're going to have to turn around at the end of every row, and so you are going to lose a little bit of efficiency. Okay, so the timer just stopped on this one. Okay, so we put that away in our ender chest, and we now have an empty inventory, and we're going to farm at 327 speed. We're going to set the timer for 5 minutes, and we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, go. As you'll be seeing here, one of the benefits of farming at 327 speed is that the angle that you're going at allows you to actually farm in reverse. So I'm going at an angle of about 135 degrees, and because of that, it's perfect for going forward and then going backward. It actually farms the optimal amount of sugarcane, supposedly, going both ways. But we're going to see in this test if we actually end up getting the most sugarcane by doing this. Another benefit to farming at this angle is that the teleport pads that you can use on your island will actually teleport you in at an actual angle of 135 degrees or 45 degrees if you tell it to go northeast, northwest, southeast, or southwest. Of course, that depends on whatever direction you want to face while farming. So because you're able to farm at 327 speed without actually turning around, you can actually farm sugarcane one-handed. And I have a video on that in case you want to set up your farm to be able to farm one-handed. By the way, while we're finishing up this farming, now would be a great time if you guys could check and make sure you're subscribed to my channel. That way you don't miss out on any future guides that I make on Hypixel Skyblock. Also, if you're finding the video useful, it would be awesome if you could hit that thumbs up button. Okay, so the timer just went off and we have now finished all 3 speeds of testing. So it is time to check out the results. Okay guys, so here we have the ender chest full of all the crops that we gained in these 3 tests. So I got rid of the regular sugarcane from this chest because it really makes almost no difference in the results, and it just makes the calculation a lot more complicated to do. So I'm just going to separate them a little bit more here so that you guys can actually see it better. So in order to best calculate how much better one farming speed is than the other, I counted the total amount of enchanted sugars that I farmed in each farming period. So each enchanted sugarcane is worth 160 enchanted sugar. So because we farmed 3 on each of these farming periods, every 3 enchanted sugarcane is worth 480 enchanted sugar. So farming at speed 260, we got a total of 578 enchanted sugar. Farming at speed 290, we got 585 enchanted sugar. And farming at speed 327, we got 598 enchanted sugar. So because the bazaar price for sugarcane is actually lower than the NPC price for sugarcane, we're going to actually sell these crops to the NPC to determine how much we would have made in a 5-minute period and also in a 1-hour period. Going at speed 260, we would have made 184,960 coins in 5 minutes and 2,219,520 coins in an hour. Going at speed 290, we would have made 187,200 coins in 5 minutes and 2,246,400 coins in an hour. And going at speed 327, we would have made 191,360 coins in 5 minutes and 2,296,320 coins in an hour. So, although it looks like 290 is better than 260 and 327 is better than both 290 and 260, it is very, very close. Looking at the percentages, 290 speed is only about 1.2% better than 260 speed. And that's pretty close, so that means it could have just been a simple margin of error when I was actually turning the corners. Maybe I turned the corners a little bit better with 290 than 260, because that is very, very close. And if we look at 327 speed, it was 2.2% better than going at 290 and 3.4% better than going at 260 speed. That's still pretty small, but it does make a little bit of a difference. As you can see, the hourly rate for going at speed 327 gets you about 80,000 coins more than going at speed 260. But that's still pretty close, so I have a feeling that the reason why 327 came out better than both 290 and 260 is not really because the speed is better, but more because that speed and that angle allows you to actually farm in reverse without turning around. And so not having to turn around probably saved me about 3.4% in efficiency, and that's why the 327 got me a little bit more sugarcane profit. So based on these results, it looks like you would probably want to farm at 327, but of course, if you're not able to afford a god pot, it might be pretty hard to get to speed 327. So as you can see from these results, the other 2 speeds are pretty darn close. So if you can't get yourself to speed 327, you can just farm at speed 290 or even speed 260 if it's easier for you to hit that speed, and you'll still get a pretty close amount to 327. Well, I hope this test helped you out. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and remember to embrace the baldness.